Thank you for watching this video, and please remember that you can pause, fast forward, or rewind, rewatch at any time. And you also have access to the Khan Academy on our school's website if you want to take a look at integers or any other mathematical concept that we're studying. There are really only 5 mathematical statements that can be written when you are using the operations of addition and subtraction with integers. Here are 5 examples we had as homework on our first night. It can be very helpful to think of the subtraction sign, the minus sign, the negative sign, as saying the opposite of. Subtracting something is the same thing as adding its opposite. A number line is also a very useful mathematical tool to use when we are adding and subtracting integers. To the right are all of the positive numbers. So past positive 10, of course, would be positive 11, positive 12, and so on. To the left of 0 are the opposite of the positive numbers, or the negative numbers. So the negative 12 that we see down here would, of course, be 2 places to the left of the negative 10. Negative 10, negative 11, negative 12. So 6 is the opposite of negative 6, and negative 12 is the opposite of positive 12. How would I say minus a minus 4, subtract a negative 4, take away a negative 4? This is the same thing as saying the opposite of 4. So the opposite of 4 would, of course, be the negative 4, but the opposite of 4 would be positive 4. Here are 4 more problems I want to take a look at with you. 8 take away 2 is the same thing as 8 and the opposite of 2, which would give me a 6. And we'll take a look at all of these on the number line in a moment. Negative 8 take away 2 is the same as opposite of 8 and the opposite of 2, which gives me a negative 10, the opposite of 10. 8 and the opposite of 2 is the same thing as saying 8 plus 2, which is 10, right? Because remember, the opposite of 2 is negative 2, but the opposite of that is positive 2. The opposite of 8 and the opposite of 2 is the same thing as saying the opposite of 8 and 2, which gives me a negative 6. So the first problem, 8 and the opposite of 2. I'd be out here on the number line, 2, 8 places to the right, and the opposite of 2, well, if it was just and 2, I would go 2 places to the right and get 10, but no, this is 8 and the opposite of 2, so I'd be going 2 places to the left, and I would get my 6. The opposite of 8 and the opposite of 2, here's the opposite of 8, and the opposite of 2, which is to the left, would give me the negative 10. 8 and 2 would be over here to the right at 8, and 2 would give me 10. Then the opposite of 8 and 2 would be here to the left at the opposite of 8, negative 8, and 2 take me 2 places to the right, which would give me a negative 6. Here are the same 5 problems we took a look at on the first slide, and then we had as homework. Notice I have the subtraction statement followed by adding the opposite and the solution, or I have the addition statement that I transfer back to the subtraction statement, right? 4 minus 9, 4 and the opposite of 9, and the solution. That's how all of these are laid out. So 6 and the opposite of 8. Here's 6. The opposite of 8 would be 8 places to the left. So I go back 6 places to 0, and 2 more would land me on the negative 2. 4 and the opposite of 9. Here's 4. The opposite of 9 would be to the left. So here's 4 to the left, and 5 more to the left would give me a total of 9 to the left, or a negative 5. The opposite of 7 and 5, here's the opposite of 7, and 5, I'd be going to the right. Here's my -2, 5 places to the right from the opposite of 7. The opposite of 3 and the opposite of 4. Here's the opposite of 3. The opposite of 4 would take me to the left 4 places to land on the -7. Opposite of 7. 8 and the opposite of 3, I'd be over here on 8. The opposite of 3 would be going to the left, which would give me a 5. Now, if you have large numbers, don't let that trouble you. Who wants to draw a number line with tick marks that go all the way up to 7,840, much less 10,000? Not me. You don't have to. If you think about it abstractly. The opposite of 2,000 and the opposite of 5,840 is the opposite of 7,840, or negative 7,840. Notice to the left here I have the subtraction statements, to the right I have the addition statements. So here I would be out to the left 2,000 places. And the opposite of 5,840, that means I'm still going to the left. Is my number going to be positive or negative? Well, it's going to be negative, right? Because I'm only adding on more to the left. But take a look here at this last one. Negative, or the opposite of 1,250 and 350. Well, I'd be to the left here, 1,250 places. I would be going back to the right, 350. If I'm going to the right, 350, and I'm all the way to the left at 1,250, I'm not going to pass 0 and end up with a positive answer. No, I would still be to the left of 0. We will talk about other ways we can add and subtract integers in future lessons, but for today, we're just talking about them in terms of opposites. Thank you very much for watching.